Hello everyone, welcome to the Starseed Healing Temple. For today's reading, we're going to take a look at messages from the inner realms to see what is coming to the surface or what needs to come to the surface, what is about to be activated in the physical realm. For pile number 1, we have the River Queen, and that is with the Golden Healer Heart. For pile number 2, we have the Desert Prince, and that is with the Ocean Jasper. For pile number 3, we have the Hawk Prince, and that is with the Smoky Quartz. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps are located in the description box below. If you find yourself drawn to more than one reading, that's perfectly fine. There may be messages meant for you in each reading. Just use your intuition to guide you. Take what resonates. These are general messages and meant to reach a collective of individuals. So just take what resonates for you. And I'll see you all at your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you were drawn to the River Queen and the Golden Healer Heart. And your card says flow, letting go, and natural movement. And it's card number 36, which is a 9. So I feel like there is, you're at the end of a cycle of healing. I feel like there may have been some emotions that have been coming to the surface. And with this card, the River Queen, you're being asked to let go, to surrender to the emotions, to transform, to heal, to allow the emotions to move through you, which is beautiful that you have the Golden Healer, because this is a stone of healing. It is a stone of Christ consciousness, actually. So I'm sorry, the peacock loves to hang out during my readings, you guys, so please forgive his his calling, his happiness, his joy. He's always so excited whenever I'm doing these readings. Okay, so the Golden Healer brings in the light of awareness. It brings in higher perception so that we can let go, so that we can trust and surrender and go with the flow. And I feel like there's some emotions that need to come to the surface, and you need to allow them to just flow through you. And I know that is easier said than done, especially when the emotions are extremely painful, or it's a memory that's been buried for a long time, and it's very hurtful, very sad, very painful. There may even be a little bit of anger or resentment about the situation. And your guidance is to trust and allow yourself to validate those feelings, to honor those feelings. This is your truth. This was your experience. This is how you really feel. And your guidance is to honor them, to surrender to them, to allow them to move through you, to express them. If that means allowing yourself to cry, to purge, to cleanse them out, if you need to scream, if you need to write them down, or if you need to even just vocally express it to somebody and share in your experience with somebody that you trust, somebody that will help support you and comfort you and remind you of who you are today, please do so. So this is definitely an energy of healing coming through for this pile. It's also letting you know that there is purpose to the experience as well, okay? So it's the end of something, which usually means the beginning of something new. All right, we're going to get some tarot later on. We'll look at your oracle cards first. Okay, so these are crystal oracle guides, and we have kyanite, truth, communication, and clarity. Speak your truth. Kyanite cuts through confusion, fears, and negativity and connects you to your most authentic self, soothing the soul. Kyanite sharpens your leadership skills and enhances communication skills, giving you the boost you need when addressing groups. Kyanite opens pathways and acts as a bridge from person to person or even between dimensions, delivering telepathic messages. Kyanite is especially great for opening the throat chakra, bringing clarity and focus when you need it. Okay, so yeah, there's some emotions that need to be expressed, and kyanite is a beautiful crystal to work with because it does help you release any blockages in any of the chakras. And since it's the color blue, it helps you to express from your heart so that you can communicate what it is that you truly feel. It also will connect you to memories of the past as well. You have Sugilite, which is originality, forgiveness, unconditional love. Sugilite helps anybody who has ever felt like they did not belong, feel loved, or supported. Vibrating violet rays of unconditional love, Sugilite brings light workers down to the earth, opening them up to their gifts, to share their gifts while staying grounded on the planet Earth. For overthinkers and warriors, Sugilite alleviates issues of the mind, allowing you to focus on what's truly important, living your truth. Sugilite facilitates forgiveness for those that have hurt you, including yourself. Open your heart to what's possible by letting go of all that no longer serves you. Beautiful. So Sugilite is also a crystal that helps us to heal the inner child wounds. It brings those wounds up to the surface for us to process them, for us to integrate them and let them go, so that we can learn the lessons of the past and move on from those experiences. So these are beautiful crystals for you to work with. If you do not have these stones in your collection, there's a link to my Facebook page, my Facebook group where we sell gemstones. You're more than welcome to join the group, and we carry all of these stones in our shop. But this crystal is also about embracing your truth, stepping into your truth, communicating your truth here, validating your experience and honoring it. And you have rose quartz, beautiful. Love, nurture, and romance. Calling in unconditional love, rose quartz invokes a gentle yet powerful feminine energy that nurtures and protects your heart. It can be used to attract new romance and to build closer bonds in your relationship. Rose quartz opens the heart chakra and heals heartache, grief, and any unexpected emotions. It asks that you show yourself compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. Rose quartz also inspires beauty in all forms. Open your heart to the beauty that is within you. So there may be a little bit of pain. Maybe there's feelings of, abandonment in some way. That's the feeling that I'm getting through these cards. Is there's a lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, a lack of value, the way that you see yourself. Perhaps I feel like it's a little bit distorted. You don't see the truth of who you are, and I feel like you're looking through the wrong lens. You may have been looking through the experience of pain, of hurt, and feeling unloved by a certain individual in your life, and it's caused you a lot of grief and a lot of sadness, and I feel like you have been holding yourself back in a way. All right, so there's definitely some heart wounds here. You also have garnet, sexuality, life force, and intensity. I'm so sorry, y'all. I hope he moves on in just a few minutes. If not, I may have to go kind of shoo him away. Okay, this is a sexual healing in its highest form. Garnet is a stone of love, passion, and devotion, removing blocks to the desires of the heart. Step into your sexual power and embrace your body, removing all judgments that stand in the way of you and your pleasure. When used in tandem with tantric sex, garnet can heighten the experience, attracting partners that can help heal sexual trauma. Garnet helps identity and illuminates self-sabotaging behaviors and expanding your connection to mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely some wounds in the sacral chakra here revolving relationships. Any of you who've ever experienced any kind of sexual trauma, my heart goes out to you. Nobody should have to go through that experience, and you are much stronger than you realize. And I'm giving you the biggest hug. And for those of you who may not like you know, your physical appearance, and that can come from pressure from society, from family, from, you know, maybe a partner in your life who's made you feel like you weren't valuable or good enough if you didn't look or dress a certain kind of way. And here's the thing, like, it's all just programming. We're all meant to be uniquely beautiful. We weren't all created to be the same. We actually chose our bodies for this lifetime before we incarnated. And like, God, Source Creator, loves us all unconditionally. And I'm going to tell you this, the more that you love yourself and love your body and embrace all aspects of your being, you will draw into your life people that are very attracted to you, because you become attracted to you. If you're not attracted to your body and the way that you look, you are creating a reality where you won't find people who find you attractive either. It all starts from us creating our belief systems, and the belief systems that we hold about who we are and about the world around us creates the reality that we experience. So the more that you can love yourself, the more you can pour into your own cup, the more you can love your beautiful body and embrace every curve, every unique, you know, dimple, every unique freckle, the curve of your hair, you know, whatever the case is, the more that you love yourself and pour into your own cup, you will find people who love and appreciate you and are very attracted to you, because you begin to shine your light. And I feel like there's somebody in your life or an experience that may have made you feel like you were less than in some way. And so I feel like this card here, this reading is coming through as a self-love journey that you're meant to go on. Okay, we have the Hunter. Okay, and the Hunter relates to facing our fears, to facing them head on and tracking them down and figuring out what it is that's holding us back, you know, and why. All right, I'm going to go get that peacock. Be right back. Okay. So yeah, I feel like with you, there's a fear of being seen. There's a fear of not being lovable in some capacity through an experience where somebody has hurt you. And there is healing that's wanting to take place. And I feel like you're ready for this. I feel like you're ready to heal. You're ready to move on. You're ready to let this go. And you're being asked to conquer those fears, to face that fear, to allow, I mean, it's sad, you know, and I completely understand when we go through these traumatic experiences and we feel like if we allow ourselves to feel it again, that it was horrible to feel it the first time. That sneaky little turd, he has just managed to get his way back over here. Well, it's very unique, very funny, because when we go through something and we don't have the spiritual awareness or consciousness or the emotional tools to process the experience that we're going through at the time, we kind of just like, you know, stuff it away for another day. You know, we just kind of repress it and we shove it down and we rationalize it away. We create a narrative or a story that helps us to move on from the experience, and we allow time to heal the wound, right? But if we haven't fully addressed the issue or the pain, or allowed ourselves to really truly feel it, it will resurface again. It stays in the memory body and the emotional body until we're ready, till our soul feels like we are ready to process it. So when these memories come up, it is our soul saying it's time to move on. It's time for us to address this emotion, time for us to you know, integrate the experience and understand what we were learning from it. And I know through some experiences, it's hard to say, well, what kind of lesson was I learning? And why would I ever agree to have this happen to me? And how can there be any kind of positivity through this experience? And I know it's hard to find any kind of like breadcrumb to help you find healing or understanding or make peace with the past, especially with certain experiences of trauma and abuse. And the advice I can give you is that you learn what type of love you don't want, or what type of person you want to be around, or what not to do to somebody else because you've experienced it. Now you have a compassion for anybody else who's had that same type of experience, and you know the type of people you want in your life. You can find the light in the pain, in the experience. What can I possibly, how can I comfort myself to give myself the okay to move on? And when that memory comes up to the surface, this is the opportunity to give yourself the biggest hug, to cry, to express if it's rage, or to get angry, or to yell, or to cuss somebody out, whatever it is, to allow yourself to validate that, and to honor that, because that is the truth. That was your experience. And it's not saying that anything that happened was okay. It's telling yourself and comforting yourself, because that's what you needed somebody to do in that moment. Or if you needed somebody to stand up and protect you and say, no, that's not okay. You can't do that. That's not right. And nobody did that for you. It's your job to do that for yourself. You can, in your mind, do that for yourself now. See that version of you that was experiencing that pain, that heartache, that trauma, and in your mind, comfort that version of yourself. Tell yourself that you don't deserve that you are lovable, that you are beautiful, that you should have somebody who's there for you, protecting you, and there's nothing wrong with you, that there really is something wrong with that individual, and it had nothing to do with you. Give yourself that comfort, that nurturing, loving, mothering energy that you needed in that moment of hardship and pain, okay? Be that for yourself, and stand there and in the face of that pain and fear and say, enough's enough. We're moving on from this experience. You're not allowed to hurt me anymore. I'm finally done from this experience. I'm ready to take whatever tools, whatever lessons I have from this experience, and to walk away. And I no longer need you as a guide, as a teacher anymore. And to stand in your power, pile number one. Stand in your light. It's time to come out of the forest. Yeah. And see, it's hard sometimes to see, because, in the forest, it's like there's so many, it's very dark. It can be very scary because we don't know our way. You could be stuck in the middle of the woods, trapped in the darkness, trapped in your fear, held back by your fears, held back by this experience, by the pain. And it's preventing you from moving forward. It's preventing you from seeing your light, seeing your beauty. And a lot of starseeds that come to this reading, y'all are meant to be here. You're meant to have these. Your mission is to go into the darkness and to understand the darkness and bring your light and your awareness, so that the darkness can no longer have reign. We need the love, we need the light, we need the understanding, we need the compassion, and understanding that, yes, people who hurt people are people who are in pain, but it doesn't mean that we deserve to be hurt by those people that are in pain. We are the ones who hold people accountable for their actions, and we choose not to inflict that pain onto others. But we also don't take on other people's pain and say it's my fault, or I deserve this, or there's something wrong with me. It's understanding, where did that pain come from? Why is it in our family lineage, or why did this person do what they did? And understanding where it came from, where it originated from, and then becoming the transmuter of that energy. Shine your love, shine your light on the situation, and know that it's not you who deserves this or you who caused this in any kind of way. This was somebody who was broken, somebody else who experienced some kind of pain and trauma, and they don't know how to get rid of it. They don't know how to heal from it, so they just inflict it and pass it on to somebody else, because people think that's how they get rid of it. In their mind, it makes them feel good to do it to somebody else because somebody did it to them, and they think that it's going to make them feel good, but essentially it just brings up more guilt, more anger, more rage, more shame. It just feeds that cycle. And so your mission, your job, is to face those fears and stand there with your beautiful bright light and say, no, I understand how people can do this, but it's not right, and I'm not going to allow somebody to make me feel like it's my fault and that I deserve this. I know who I am. And I'm going to make the choice now to walk away from that experience and to know that it wasn't anything that I did or something that I could have changed within myself that could have made this any differently. I went through this experience to teach me a lesson, to teach me how to, embody my strength, to shine my light, to see in the dark, to see what motivates the dark. There's always reasons why things happen, even if in the moment we don't understand. And when we attain higher consciousness, or when we're finally ready to move on, these gifts of awareness and perspective begin to surface, to give us the strength, to give us the courage to finally say, okay, I'm done with this experience. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to pass this class. What do I need to do so that I can, finally move on? And I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're finally ready to say, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to let this go. Let's go ahead and get a couple tarot before I forget, and then we'll look at the rest of these cards. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. Messages from the inner realm of pile number 1. We have the Ace of Air. Okay, yes. Communication, shifts in perspective here. A new idea. Let me think for a minute. So he's walking with his head down, and he's dragging the sword behind him. Very young, very youthful. Yeah, I feel like you've been very lonely, pile number 1. Oh, wow. And you have the 10 of Fire. Yeah, you're just done. You're exhausted. You're tired. I feel like, yeah, you're very stressed. You've been holding on too much. Yeah, you're very weary. I feel like you've been on this journey for a long time, or you've been, holding on to this for a really, really long time. You're just I feel weary, very tired. Yeah, it's been a long road, a long journey for you, pile number 1. What else do we have? The Queen of Air and the King of Earth. Okay. All right, so there's definitely some thoughts that need to be transformed. The belief systems that you have about yourself, beliefs that you're responsible. All right, hang on. Let me go see what's going on out there. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like you have a lot of weight sitting on your shoulders, and I feel like your guidance is to be honest and truthful with how you feel, and allow yourself to feel into those emotions, to be direct, to see the truth, to see it with clarity, to take any kind of responsibility, and not saying that you're responsible for anything that happened to you in any kind of way, but to take the power back into your own hand and claim your authority, your right to live a happy life, your right to have healthy relationships, to be happy, to have a successful life. And I feel like you are somebody who's very hardworking and you're very determined. So don't let these old emotions, these memories hold you back or to prevent you from living the life of your dreams. I feel like you're going to conquer this pile number 1. You have divine abundance coming through. You were born to align with love's will. Follow the Tao and serve something beyond the ego. Learn the abundance, not chase it. Ooh, this is about aligning to the path that you want to be living, to align to the life that you want to be in. And it requires you to let go of any fears, any doubts, any old belief systems, any emotions that prevent you from knowing your worth and your value and what you deserve. And align to and embody the truth of really who you are. But it takes a lot of releasing and letting go of old energies, old belief systems, the doubts that you hold within, and allow them to be transformed through your love, through your light, through your truth. Because the experience, or whatever belief system you created from this experience, that's what needs healing. That's what needs your light and your love. You need to look at what story did you create from this experience, and how can you transform that story. And instead of putting yourself in a victim place, which puts you in a lower vibration, how can you make yourself the victor? How can you make yourself the person who went through this and overcame it, and you didn't let it be something that defined you for the rest of your life? You didn't allow it to be something that dimmed your light and made you shut down and run away and live in a place of fear and doubt and the darkness, which is what happens to a lot of starseeds, because we forget why we're here. We forget the mission, and we're extremely sensitive, and we don't understand how the 3D world is and how people can be so mean and so uncaring to one another. And so we end up shutting down and feeling weird or feeling different, like there's something wrong with us, because other people seem not to care and seem like this is okay, and it's not. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's that they have forgotten their light. They have broken hearts, and all they can see through is that filter of pain, and because they're not strong enough to transform it, to heal it, to move through it. And you're the brave soul who volunteered to come down and to take on the mission and transform the darkness and to shine your light, to face those fears, to face the darkness, and to bring your love and light into this realm. We have outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your willingness. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. See, I feel like with this card here, this is open your heart and allow yourself to release whatever is blocking the heart chakra from being able to receive love, to receive abundance, to receive all the good things in life, to receive even your own love, words of comfort and knowing your worth and your value. And we have intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense movement. Oh, let's redo that. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. Okay. Your heart is saying to listen to your heart and trust your intuition, all right? Allow whatever needs to flow through you to flow through you. If you are You know, when you're sad, allow yourself to be sad. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that these emotions need to be purged. They need to be integrated. And the way we integrate them is feeling them and allowing them to exist, allowing it to be our truth. This is truly how I felt. This is truly my experience. This is what I went through. It's not who I am. It has been a part of my journey to become something better. It is the mud that the lotus has to go through. It is the darkness that I have to go through to remember my light, to remember my courage, to remember my passion and why I'm here. Your heart is speaking to you, pile number 1. Yeah, we have confrontation coming through with opposition. Yes. This is the heart and mind, you know, being at odds with one another. And anytime we're choosing to heal, we're choosing to elevate or move on, our mind has you know, the ego wants that control. It wants us to stay in a comfort zone because this is what is known, you know. And anytime we try to change, anytime we try to heal, the mind tries to talk us out of it. It tries to say, well, what if this happened and what if that happens, you know, and it gets all these fearful thoughts. And the reason that's there is because it originated at the time when you were younger, going through a painful experience. So it's afraid of you experiencing that pain again and not being able to handle it. So the ego is trying to protect us by making us fearful of experiencing it again. But when our heart speaks, we can comfort our heart, we can comfort our mind, we can comfort that ego that is fearful, and we give it the wisdom, we give it our love, and we say, it's okay. I'm strong enough now to recognize when somebody is trying to hurt me or when somebody's disrespecting me. I am wiser now. I can see the truth. I see where I can empower myself to walk away, to say no, to protect myself from having to deal with any of those situations ever again. I'll no longer have to experience that again. You know, I'm in control now. I'm an adult. I have more power over my life and over my body. And you comfort that mind so that way it's no longer in a place of fear. It now has a parent, so to say, that says, it's okay, I've got you. Nobody's going to hurt you anymore. And that's what it needs to hear. It needs to hear your love. It needs to hear your comfort. It needs to hear your validation that what it feels is true. And I understand where that feeling comes from, but it's going to be okay because I'm not going to allow that to happen again. And the reason it did happen was because I was younger and didn't know, you know, or I was powerless in the situation, but now I'm taking my power back and I can reclaim my power, and nobody's ever going to do that to me again. And that's how you can move on from that experience of feeling like a victim to becoming the victorious. Oh, and you have Mother Mary coming through. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So Mother Mary is coming in to give you love, to give you healing, to give you peace, to make peace with the past, to move on, to forgive whoever you need to forgive, to have compassion for whoever you need to have compassion for. It doesn't mean that you're saying it's okay. You can understand that people act out of pain, or they act out of lower consciousness and awareness, and that they really truly don't know what it is they're doing or the pain that they're inflicting on another individual, that they themselves were taught that it's okay to do this because this is how they were taught and they just pass it on down, or that they don't know what to do with the pain that was inflicted on them, so they just inflict it on others, and for them that's how they think they're going to get rid of it, but instead it just creates more, you know. And so you're here to shine your light and to share your love and your wisdom, so that it ends, it stops with you. You don't repeat the cycle. We have Kathumi with the cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer that you seek. Trust what you know. Okay. Again, we have trust in your heart, trust in your divine guidance. And we have the snake here, the Ouroboros, ending that cycle, ending that pattern, and bringing healing, so that nobody who's in your family that comes through you ever has to experience that again, you know? It's like the work that we do now is the work for the generations to come, so that they don't have to experience what we experienced. And in each generation that comes from the light workers, from the starseeds, we bring that generational healing so that we heal the planet, we heal the 3D, so that the earth, Gaia, can ascend to her rightful place in the cosmos, and no longer have to be in a planet of duality where there is so much darkness and so much pain and greed and hate and anger and, you know, all these lower densities. You're here to restore the light and the love and to bring that Christ consciousness forward. Okay, I'm going to get you some final messages, and then we'll close your reading, pile number 1. I'm so sorry for all your disruptions and all the background noise. Final messages, which, I mean, makes sense because I feel like the background noise is what's been going on, like it's been in your mind, and it just keeps eating at you and wearing on you and wearing on you, and it's getting heavier and heavier. And that's why your guidance from the inner realm is to release it and to let it go, to purge it out, to feel it so that you can integrate the experience and move on from it, and then empower yourself and then make your way out of the force, out of the shadows, and back into the light. Okay, we have love appears. I renounce my pain and release my resistance. Today I choose to reside in the light of my being. I rise up boldly and ask for the understanding that will free me of my duality. My prayers are heard, and God sends angelic help so that love and peace find their way to me. When I open my eyes, love appears. And look at that light, that peace stuff that's coming in. We have this woman who's sitting by the river, you know, and you have the river queen. So maybe spending some time by water, maybe taking some like self-love baths, put some rose quartz, because you had rose quartz come through in the water, and allow yourself to cleanse your body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. Allow yourself to be healed and to purge and cleanse away this experience. It's almost like a baptism, you know, where you're purifying your vessel and cleansing away the old version of you, cleansing the old energies, the pain away, so that you can be restored and fully embody the love that you are, the light that you are. I'm going to get you another one. Okay, we have overcoming. Today, in the great school of life, I practice self-discovery. By acknowledging my fears, anger and ego separate me from my divinity. By acknowledging that my fears, anger, and ego separate me from my divinity, I allow the light to grow inside me. This light gives me the power to reign over my inner kingdom. Today, I overcome all that separates me from the light that is my truest self. Beautiful. This card of surrendering here, overcoming all that you've been through, and knowing that it's nothing that it was your fault. It was your strength and your courage to go into that darkness and to shine your light and to face those shadows and not let them embody you and take you over for the rest of your life. You are here to transform, to transmute that energy and to shine that light into those darkest areas and to understand where they come from and where they originate. And I know it's hard to have compassion for people who do the most evilest things, but they are there to show us the contrast, to show us the duality that exists, and to know that all things, even when they're dark, they originate from a place of love. They are teachers, and they teach us what love isn't. They teach us how to love ourselves, where we allow people to treat us poorly, where we don't love I would say don't set, how we learn to set healthy boundaries is by allowing people to take advantage of us, you know? And so we're always learning something. If you can see that for every, you know, let's say there's, you know, we have a left and right hand, right? So on the left side, we have like anger. On the right side, we would have love. We would have dark, we have light. Without that contrast, we wouldn't understand either. We wouldn't know the value of having love if we didn't experience what it's like not to have love, you know? So we're always learning through the contrast and the interplay of these energies. So anytime you're experiencing the lack or the void of, it is because you're there to put the opposite of that energy in and to embody the opposite of that energy. Okay, I hope this is making sense for you guys. All right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and close your reading. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my readings. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story. Just reminding you all, I do offer personal readings. If you'd like to contact me, my email is listed in the description box below. And I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading pile number 2. You guys are drawn to the Desert Prince with the Ocean Jasper. And your card says survival and false promises. Whew. Okay, so the Desert Prince with the Ocean Jasper. So with the Desert Prince, I feel like there has been something in your life that has been very hard. Perhaps you may feel like you're out of your element. Somebody may have told you that things were going to be one way, or this could even involve like a job. Maybe you thought things, you had an idea about what it is that you wanted to create, or even the relationship, the way that you thought the relationship was going to go, and it just has not gone in that direction. So I feel like there's a little bit of, sadness or grief, or like feeling deflated, you know, like, this is not what I want, this is what I thought it was going to be. But with the Ocean Jasper coming out, there is some form of relief for you. You have card number 19, which is essentially a 10. So there is a potential for renewal. There's potential for new beginnings. There's also a potential for independence here as well. All right, let's take a look at your other cards and see what else wants to come through. All right, so these are gemstone crystals. I'm going to get some tarot cards for you later on. You have snakeskin agate, strength, privacy, and self-love. Being comfortable in your own skin takes time, and snakeskin agate helps boost self-esteem and self-awareness so that you can do just that. Snakeskin agate gives you the confidence to step outside your comfort zone and explore new aspects of yourself, all within your discretion. Snakeskin agate can blend in with the crowd, so if you don't want to be seen and wish to carry on with your activities in peace, this is the stone for you. Snakeskin agate is able to facilitate a Kundalini rising and encourages full embodiment of self. So maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you have been forced into a role or a job or a position that you don't quite feel that you have the skills or the know-how or the wisdom to do the job to the best of its ability. Yeah, I feel like you don't quite have a lot of confidence in yourself yet. And I feel like maybe there's like been a little bit of a struggle to attain victory or to step fully into that leadership role. Like I feel like you don't feel quite confident enough. Yeah, I'm the prince, you know, I feel like you don't quite feel like you have enough wisdom to step fully into your power yet, or you're still learning. So it's like in a stage of development at the moment. let's see what else we have. We have rhodonite, compassion, yin yang, and fertility. Rhodonite is a stone of brotherly love, the shared connection between all of humanity. Equilibrium is key for this crystal, which has the capacity to calibrate emotions, balance the yin and the yang, and source energy from a grounded place. It can bring light to an emotional scar from the past, transforming them to foster a stable everyday life. Rhodonite helps remove blame from the situation rather than whether it's pointed at you or someone else. Accept the situation for what it is and learn to forgive yourself with love and compassion in the process. Okay. Has somebody been forcing you to like take responsibility or ownership for something that you don't quite feel is yours to take, you know? All right, let me see what else we have. We have carnelian, courage, motivation, and endurance. Powerful and bold, carnelian increases confidence in yourself, especially when you need to take center stage and use your voice effectively. A stabilizing stone, carnelian helps balance volatile emotions for long-term vitality. Believed to protect the soul in the afterlife, carnelian is a stone of the living, meant to motivate you to take chances with the life that you have. Life is meant to be lived with passion and desire, and carnelian gives you the courage to do so. Carpe diem, seize the day. Okay. So you're being asked to be brave, have courage, and to believe in yourself, to keep going, keep learning, keep pushing forward. And you have blue topaz, solar, vitality, and amplify. Inspired by the sun, blue topaz draws its strength from the solar energy, radiating warmth, generosity, strength, and vitality to those who seek it. With an impact as huge as the limitless sky, blue topaz's power is potent, magnifying psychic abilities and inner peace. Use this crystal in conjunction with affirmations and visualization, as it will amplify your intentions as you envision your future. Blue topaz stimulates creativity and a thirst for knowledge, granting the ability to express emotions and thoughts in a clear, profound way. Okay, so I feel like you're meant to be in that leadership role, even if at the moment you're still developing your skills and your techniques to embody that leadership energy. But right now, I feel like you don't quite feel that you are ready for that role yet. I feel like you're still gathering your skills. You're still, processing. Maybe there's still some energies of doubt or fear or, a fear of being seen, a fear of criticism or a fear of approval. And that requires you to pour into your cup and to love yourself and to be your own support team, to encourage you to step out of that comfort zone and to embody your strength, to be fearless. All right, what else do we have? Apocalypsis. Okay, I remember this one. All right, so this represents something painful. Something that needs to be acknowledged, something that needs to come to light, a pain. And it could be whatever made you doubt yourself. This is what needs to be acknowledged. Needs to be seen, it needs to be felt so that you can break free from this old narrative, this old perspective, or this old truth that you're holding on to. Perhaps maybe, you know how we can self-deceive, we can tell ourselves something, and we can create a story that makes us feel safe, so that we stay in that comfort zone. And a lot of that comes from our ego, and it's fear. of the past repeating itself. And so the ego, the mind, wants to keep us, you know, in a space of comfort. And it actually limits us from moving and stepping into our full potential and stepping into our power. Because in a sense, it's trying to protect us, but it's also limiting us by keeping us trapped in an old version of ourselves. And when we've been in that energy for a long time, eventually the soul starts urging us to break free from the cocoon, to break free from this box that we've been in for a long time, because we actually ultimately have a mission. We're here to achieve a goal. We're here to do something, to be of service. And, you know, those urges, that energy is going to keep coming to the surface. And it's going to get more and more intense until you finally start listening and paying attention and acting on those energies. So I feel like there's something that is going to be coming to the surface. And it's something that needs to be felt and released. So it could be some form of sadness or grief or despair, you know, something that needs to be... something that needs to be acknowledged, all right? Because we have, you know, survival and false promises. And I feel like there's maybe something that you're holding on to that needs to be let go of. We have gnosis, okay? This is the truth, the understanding, and it's the healing from the experience. What you know to be true. And it comes from your heart, not from the mind, not from the ego that wants to protect you. It's listening to the heart and feeling from your heart and listening to that inner knowing, that inner calling. And I feel like you've already been feeling that the change is on the horizon, that something needs to change. Even if you can't see it, it's something that is felt. And it's something that needs to be felt so that you can release it and integrate it and understand and grow from it. It's about getting to know your truth so that you can't be tricked into a false illusion anymore, or a false understanding, or a false narrative, something that's trying to keep you small and holding you back and preventing you from stepping into your true kingdomship, you know? From stepping into your power, into your authority. Debilitated. Yeah, I feel like this is how you feel right now. Discomfort. Sorry about that. And then we have tree and sextile symbiosis. Okay. So right now I feel like, yeah, you're stuck. You don't quite feel like you measure up in some kind of way. And with the symbiosis coming through here, this is about being around people who support you, people who believe in you, working together as a team to accomplish a goal. And that's what the starseeds are here, the light workers are here. Maybe you don't feel like your skills are, you know, match other people, or maybe you are looking at other people who have the same type of skill and creative ability as you, and you may feel like you don't measure up in some kind of way. And here's the thing about that is, like, your style, your uniqueness is uniquely your own. Just like there's many tarot readers out there and oracle readers out there, and believe me, I have felt that way too, especially when I first began this channel. Like, you know, I don't know if people are going to resonate with my vibe. I don't know if people are going to, you know, understand my readings, because I read in a certain kind of way. And it's through our own experience and our light, our vibration, our energy, the way that we do things is unique, and nobody can mimic our particular, you know, energy. So there's nobody like you, pile number 2. And nobody can do the things that you do in the way that you do them, because you're the only one who's mastered the skills that you have. So let go of any fears or any doubts that you don't measure up in some kind of way. And believe in yourself. Trust in your abilities. and face whatever fears, or anybody who ever made you feel like you weren't good enough in some kind of way, and stand up to them and tell them what's what. You know, you don't need their approval. You want people around you who support you and encourage you and boost your confidence and boost your esteem. And if at the moment you don't have people around you in your life that can help support you, you have to become your own cheerleader. You have to become your own support team and learn to be your, be that person for yourself that says, you got this, you can do this, believe in yourself, and stop doubting who you are and doubting your abilities. And the more you pour into your own cup and you shift the way that you see who you are, you will start to attract people who appreciate you, who are inspired by you, who love your work, and they love your energy, they love your spirit, and they want to work with you. You'll start attracting those types of energies into your life. Pile number 2. All right, let me get you some tarot cards. We'll look at these other oracle cards in just a minute. Ooh, what came out? We have the High Priestess. And we have the Three of Water. Beautiful. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your inner soul calling. And we have the Three of Water, which is the Three of Cups. Celebration, community, friendship, collaboration. People are going to want to work with you. People are going to be inspired by your gifts, by your talents. Okay? Listen to your inner wisdom. Have patience with yourself as you learn, as you grow, as you integrate the lessons and the wisdom that you've accumulated throughout your lifetime, okay? So there's some inner work that needs to be done, but ultimately you're going to be seen, acknowledged, and celebrated and appreciated. Okay, these all wanted to come out. What do we have? Oh, we have the Nine of Water, wishes, dreams, and happiness. Yeah. Nine of Cups. This is like wishes do come true, okay? So whereas you felt disillusioned, or you felt like, maybe you've been trying to manifest something and you're like, that's all just, a bunch of baloney because it ain't worked out for you, when you haven't seen any signs that things are going to evolve and grow and expand, and you feel just kind of like stuck or trapped. And it's because there's a belief system you have about your own worth, about your own value. So there's something in your vibrational field that needs cleansing, that needs healing, that needs to be dissolved so that you can embody the vibration of what it is you're wanting to create and manifest for yourself. We have the Three of Air. Yeah, there's some heartache. There's some heartbreak that needs to be acknowledged, that needs to be addressed. And we have the Ten of Water. Yeah, so that you can be happy. This is happy life, happy family. Maybe there's been people in your life that have hurt your heart, family members or loved ones, friends, whoever has made you feel less than and devalued in some kind of way. But you deserve love, blessings, and happiness. And we have, the Five of Air coming through here. Five of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is mistakes, melodrama, and resentment. A little bit of resentment. Maybe there's a little bit of anger towards these people that hurt you. With the Five of Air. And it's crazy. We have this chessboard here, and here's the thing, like when we have those kinds of situations, it's like nobody really wins, and it's not about who's right and who's wrong, okay? It's about having the moral compass of doing what's right, and following your heart and listening to, the guidance and wisdom that comes from you, and making sure that you're keeping your side of the street clean. As long as you are doing right by your moral compass, and it doesn't matter, even if they're, here's the thing, and I've experienced some of this myself. I was I was in the energy of like people pleasing, and I had people in my life who, you know, I loved dearly, lots of family members, but they were just very toxic and very negative, and they were just the types of people, if they woke up in the morning, they were already had an attitude, and they would tell you, don't talk to me first thing in the morning, you know, and they would like bite your head off. And there's nothing that you did, you know, or deserved for them to treat you that way. You know what I mean? It's just, this was their energy. And this was, you know, we all have different types of personalities and stuff too. It didn't mean that there was something wrong with me. But I, again, would make excuses why it's okay for people to treat me that way, and out of, you know, not wanting to have confrontation or arguments, because these types of people weren't people who actually would say, I'm sorry. And if they did say they were sorry, they didn't really mean it, because they would turn around and do it again, you know? And so what I ended up learning was that I needed to set healthy boundaries for myself and speak up for myself to those types of individuals, and pretty much teach them how to treat me, and tell them, like, you know, I'm not, if that's how you're going to talk to me and treat me, like, I'm going to distance myself from you, because I want to be around people who don't support me. I want people who are in my life who care how they make me feel, who don't try to change me, who support me, who want to help work out a situation. If we have a disagreement, we want resolution, and we want things that bring us closer together. We want a stronger bond. I don't want to hear, you know, how, well, it's okay that they hurt me because 3 months ago, you know, I did something unconsciously that made them mad, and they never told me about it. So how am I supposed to know that something hurt them if they didn't tell me? And how can I change if I don't know something that's hurtful, you know? Or how can I apologize for it? Instead, these are people who want to play games and who want to manipulate and do like tit for tat type of energy. And I don't want people like that in my life. So it's like, I don't want to play games. And that's the thing. You want to walk away from anybody who's trying to play games or gaslight you, or that negative toxic energy. You want people who support you, who value you, and lift you up, and encourage you, and to be comfortable walking away from those types of individuals, okay? Because you deserve more than that. You deserve people who love you. You deserve people who support you, who want to pour into your cup, and offer that gift of reciprocity, you know, who give as much as you give. Those are the people you want to invite into your life, that community, that support, where the energy exchange is balanced. We have divine love, where when you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Okay, this is asking you to surrender, to release, to let go, to trust, to take that leap of faith, that you're being guided, that everything works out for a reason, even in the moments that we don't understand and where we can't see a way forward. Just know that the path will be laid down upon you in due time. Everything is according to divine timing, okay? So let go of the hows and the whys and the whens. It is taking that leap of faith and trusting that you are going to be guided, and that things will work out, and what's meant to be will be, and the people who are meant to be in your life, they will be in your life, okay? And sometimes people are there for a season, sometimes they're there for a lifetime, and trust that the ones that fall away are meant to fall away, and that there are lessons, they are teachers, they are guides, even the ones that aren't so that aren't so full of light, you know, they're there to teach us, and they are some of our hardest teachers, because it can be very painful. It's like that coach, you know, who constantly, like, almost like berates one of his players on the field, you know, and it's out of love, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that all these people who are harsh are coming from a place of love. A lot of times they're coming from a place of jealousy, or, you know, just negativity. But some of them, you know, it is the message that it's meant to teach us, it's meant to make us stronger, it's meant to help us to feel more empowered, even though in those moments we don't feel empowered, we feel less than, we feel unloved through those experiences. But they, on the other end of that, we learn from those experiences the type of people that we want in our life. We learn how to set healthier boundaries for ourselves. We learn to choose ourselves, to empower ourselves, to boost our own confidence, to boost our self-esteem, to have more courage, to speak our truth, to speak up for ourselves, and to protect our hearts, you know? We have ease. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. Oh, I love that. Okay. So this is the healing of the heart here. Learning to pour into your own cup. Maybe you're somebody who's had to like work very hard and feel like you constantly are working and working and working, and or manifesting, and things just haven't been working out for you. And you know, it's that empty promises, you know, like I was told that this, if I did this and I did this, then this would happen, and I haven't seen any of those results. That's because there is a block in the heart. There's a block in your receiving energy. And we are kind of like, you know, we're like magnets. Our energy that we pulse out into the world comes back to us. So if there's an energy, a block in the energy can't return back to you because you're pushing the energy out and pushing it away. And that comes from having, like, you know, a blocked heart. And the heart is where we receive. Our hands are like extensions of our heart. We give and we put energy out with our right hand. And this is our work. This is what we create. This is what we do. You know what I mean? If you're left-handed, it's the opposite for you. But this is the hand where energy moves out into the world. And it's the energy of creating and doing, and it's masculine. It's a forward movement. And so say when we're manifesting, we're projecting, and we're trying to, you know, let's create something. You know, we're constantly investing our time and our energy into creating. But if we're never taking that pause, you know, to stop working, to reflect, that's preventing us from receiving. This is our feminine hand, and the left hand, this is our receiving hand. So what goes out must return. If there's a blockage in receiving, we're not going to receive the blessings of all the work that we put out. We're not going to receive the love that we've been giving because we don't allow ourselves to stop to receive. We don't believe we're worthy of receiving. We don't know how to receive. Nobody's taught us how to receive. We've only been taught that if you work hard, you know, then you can be successful. If you work hard, you can retire. If you do this, you know, you'll get this. But we're not taught how to get it, how to receive it. We're only taught how to work for everything. We're taught how to do and to give to everyone else, but we're not taught how to receive it ourselves. And the receiving means that we stop pushing energy out. We stop giving. We stop doing. And we learn to find that balance. We learn to take time for ourselves. We learn to put energy into our own life, into our own cup, into our own bodies by saying, I love you to myself. It's easy for me to receive. I am lovable. I love myself. I'm proud of myself. I am strong. I can do this. I believe in who I am. I believe in my gifts and my talents. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am supported. You know, all those things. When you start putting energy into yourself, putting the energy within, that's when you open the channel to receive, because you start giving it to yourself and not giving it away to everyone else and to the world outside of you. You start giving it to the world within and pouring to your inner cup. And then you start opening that channel for blessings to come in, for love to come in, for support to come in, for all these beautiful blessings, for family, happiness, support, community, friendship, because you're allowing yourself to receive it now by giving it to yourself. Okay? So there is that fine balance. It's not saying to, you know, it's horrible because when you think about the people, and it used to frustrate me so much. Like people who are so selfish, it's like everything comes so easy to them. And you know why? Because they're so focused on who they are, their self, and making sure that their needs are met. It's like they they don't care about everybody else, because they're too busy focused on themselves. And the people who have a hard time receiving are so busy worried about everybody else and giving to everybody else and making sure everybody else is okay. And then there's this like, well, what about me? There's nobody doing that for me. That's because you're not doing it for you. You're giving it away to everybody else. And we have to find that balance. It's good to give, but we also have to be able to receive it ourselves too, to give it to ourselves as well. So whatever you give out, you have to give to yourself as well, and to be comfortable and secure in doing that. And it's not meaning that you're selfish, because by any means are you not selfish. You are learning that it's okay for you to receive it. And in order for you to receive it from other people, you have to first give it to yourself. You have to learn to receive first. And then other people will see you, celebrate you, and pour into your cup too. Okay? We have the Divine Director, Intervention, and Purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Yes, you are meant to be happy, and everything is divinely guided, okay? We have Melchizedek with higher learning. You've learned from experience. More inner study is now required for further progress, okay? Great, I love that. So you are being directed to go within, to spend more time within, to spend more time filling your cup, to pouring into your own energies, and to becoming your own best friend. And we have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust in the good in yourself and others, and see the light in your world. Oh, see the light in the world. Okay, and I love that she has this blue heart, and she's holding it. It's like it's the blue flame. Oh yes, Michael. She is the counterpart, the feminine counterpart to Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael can help you cut the cords to the past, to cut the cords to any relationships that are no longer serving you, that you're ready to walk away from, that you're ready to heal from, so that you can step into this new beginning, so that you can embody your strength and your power, okay? Yeah, it's time to integrate all of the experiences that you've been through, so that you can gain more understanding and more awareness about who you really are. Pile number 2. Whew. Okay. Yeah, because everything has meaning and purpose, and you have purpose. There's meaning to your experience and all that you've been through. All right, final messages for pile number 2. We have these 2 here. So we have Beyond. Today, I lift my consciousness above all worldly illusions. I remember the power I have in every situation. I always have a choice in how I respond. And today, I choose to turn my thoughts towards God. By focusing my awareness beyond the illusion of the material world, I experience simplicity and peace. So I love that. This is about focusing on your inner world here and stepping out of the illusion that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're not deserving, that you can't receive, there's something wrong with you. All those illusions that are trying to prevent you from truly embodying your worth and your value. We have Remain in the Light. Today I observe, I take time to think calmly and wisely, and I go forward with complete confidence, knowing that I will succeed. No matter what happens today, I will remain in the light. I will maintain my faith and my equilibrium. In this way, I nurture my soul and become a strong and steady representative of the light. Beautiful. I love how there's this door that's opening up for you, and you're being asked to step into the light, to remain in the light, let go of any fears, any doubts that you have the courage, have the the strength to embody your truth, okay? And to remember to stay balanced. If you're going to, give somebody compassion and love, you have to be able to give compassion and love to yourself. If you can give forgiveness to other people, give forgiveness to yourself. If you can buy somebody a gift, you can buy yourself a gift because you deserve it. You work hard, you earn it, you're allowed to have, you're allowed to receive, okay? Become your own best friend, pile number 2. And then you won't feel like you're alone. You won't feel like you're not good enough, all right? Don't let anybody make you feel like you aren't worthy and that you're not deserving and, that you don't measure up in some kind of way. Stand there and face that fear and, blow them off because you don't need their approval. And the people that you want in your life are going to be the people who support you, who encourage you, who lift you up, especially if you're having some of those low days, you know what I mean? And when you do, it's okay. Allow yourself to move through those feelings. If there's sadness that comes up or if there's anger that comes up, allow yourself to process them, question them, comfort them, ask them why they're there, what message do they want to tell you, what are they showing you, where do you need to apply more love, more forgiveness, more understanding, because this is only going to help evolve you and grow you as a soul so that you aren't being directed by your fears or acting out on your fears. You can act from a place of love and higher consciousness and higher awareness and higher perspective over the situation so that you're no longer creating from a place of fear. You can create from a place of inner knowing and understanding and faith and trust, okay? All right, pile number 2, this was your reading. Thank you all so much for being in the temple with me today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like my readings. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story or let me know that this reading resonated with you. Just reminding you all, I do offer personal readings. If you want to contact me, my email is in the description box below. Sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 3. You guys were drawn to the Hawk Prince with spirit communication, paying attention, and the smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is a stone of grounding. It's also a stone of transmutation. Ooh, and there's this beautiful rainbow in the center here. And we have card number 11. So there's something that you are awakening to. There is a higher purpose. I feel like maybe you are grounding in your higher purpose. Maybe you're letting go, healing, grounding in some healing, grounding in your spirituality. Yeah, we have this person who's looking up. And we have the hawk in the, yes, the Hawk Prince. So this is having that spiritual perspective, that higher perspective on a situation. Maybe something that has been very heavy, something that has been very painful. And maybe, yeah, seeing the truth of the situation as well. Okay, let's see what other messages want to come through from the inner realms here. Okay, I have some tarot. I'm going to pull some tarot later on. We have malachite. Yeah, malachite is a stone of healing. We have cleanse trauma, intensity, and transformation. Malachite takes no prisoners, at least with your spiritual journey. A powerful conduit for energy, malachite cleanses the emotional body of trauma, whether from this life or a past life. A teacher of emotional responsibility, malachite asks that you take accountability for your healing and helps you to release patterns that no longer serve you. Look deep within the worlds and the patterns of malachite to access other dimensions within yourself. Explore different timelines and hidden messages, bringing your subconscious to light. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so there's definitely some healing that's going to be taking place for you, pile number 3. We have jade, wisdom, abundance, and good luck. Jade is highly prized and sacred. a wonderful stone for protection and healing. Known as a dream stone, jade will stimulate messages and channel them into your dreams when placed on your third eye chakra. The ultimate good luck charm, jade promotes prosperity in every aspect of your life by opening the heart chakra and boosting your ability to receive. Wealth is nothing without your health, and jade is a reminder of this true abundance, amplifying the good fortune of your vitality. Remember, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Lots of green coming in, so heart healing, cleansing of the emotional body. That's what is taking place or needs to take place. So there's this grounding, this transformation of some old emotions so that you can know your worth and your value, so that you can open up to receive love, to receive abundance, to receive health and happiness. And you have the most crystal cards wanting to come out. If you do not have these stones in your collection, my crystal shop is linked in the description box below. Y'all can find me on Facebook and join my crystal tribe. We have all of these here in the shop. We have pink howlite, self-love, replenish, and cherish. Vibrating with love, pink howlite allows you to shed layers of negative thought patterns and beliefs as you connect to the essence of your true self. Pink howlite helps you to embrace new spiritual practices as a way of life, preventing you from picking up bad habits to begin with. With this stone, you will make choices out of self-love, honoring the highest version of yourself and trusting that you will make decisions for your highest good. Pink howlite is a natural form of the mineral salt, known to cleanse toxins from the aura and replenish one's energy field. Ooh, beautiful. I love that we had pink howlite coming out, because this is the stone of healing the heart, you know? And we had that coming through with these stones also. So there's definitely some healing that's going to be taking place. I feel like your guides are communicating to you. Perhaps you have been asking for help or asking for this healing as well. And there's going to be some divine guidance coming in for y'all from the higher realms. So it's going to help you shift and see things from a higher perspective. We have lapis lazuli with royalty, transformation, and immortality. Regal in all forms, lapis lazuli was the most prized and sought after in ancient Egypt, when it was believed to have powers of immortality and the ability to expand the heart's capacity for love. Lapis lazuli guides the soul and protects its journey from life to death. True wisdom comes from within, and lapis lazuli facilitates this unearthing your core truths. This stone appears when you are ready for spiritual transformation and takes you to the depths of who you are, unveiling deeper awareness so that you can become the leader of your own life. Beautiful. So you have transformation coming out twice here. And there's a link to the your ancestors, to the past, to ancient memories, to this being a pattern, something that's been repetitive through many cycles of your incarnations. So this is like a cleansing, a purification of those energies, of those lifetimes. So what you're working on right now is something that is going to transform, that's going to reach into those lifetimes, into those experiences. Okay, so whatever is coming up for you now is something that is a pattern that's going to be purged this lifetime. You know, it's like your soul's ready. Your guides are urging you to, I feel like, yeah, when you incarnated in this time, you've decided to go ahead and clear this out and cleanse this out so you no longer bring it forward into future incarnations. We have sodalite. Logic, instincts, and rationality. Rational thinking is heightened with the logic stone, known to clear mental confusion and enhance analytical and creative problem solving. For those on the sensitive side of the spectrum, sodalite helps ease anxiety around emotions and calms inclinations towards flighty feelings. This stone provides insights into truth, that makes sense not just logically, but also intuitively. It calls you back to your animal instincts, guiding you to trust your bodily sensations and the messages of your physical self. It's constantly sending to your brain. Okay, we'll put this one over here. Learning to trust your instincts, learning to trust yourself. Yeah, when you open the heart, when you heal the heart, I feel like you're going to be activating a whole new, like more spiritual gifts are going to be opening up here. Yeah, you'll be able to trust what you perceive. And I feel like you're also being asked to trust in the guidance that's coming in for you. Listen to that heart chakra. And you have watermelon, tourmaline, love, balance, and clarity. Relationships are the currency of life, and watermelon tourmaline raises awareness of the soul agreements and your impact on other people's lives. This crystal is supercharged to activate the heart chakra, creating a divine connection between you and your higher self. Like the watermelon, it teaches you to enjoy the sweetness of life, remembering good things often take time to ripen. Watermelon tourmaline balances the masculine and the feminine energies, connecting your heart chakra to both the physical and the spiritual aspects of yourself. Beautiful. And I love how it's linking the green and the pink together. And watermelon tourmaline is also a connection to the higher heart chakra. It's the inner and the outer, and it helps you to purge and cleanse the deeper emotions that may have been held on to a little longer than they should have been. And I feel like they're going to be, you may have some emotions that start to come to the surface. I'll move this one over here. For you to heal, for you to process, for you to see from a higher perspective, to see the truth of the situation, to see the truth of the experience, and to cleanse them out, to heal them, to transform them. Yeah, you're awakening to deeper truths, awakening to more, to having a deeper connection with yourself, ultimately your higher self. And the more time you spend going within, the more time it's like within connects us to above, okay? The inner realms connect us to the higher realms. You have the archetype of the comic. and this one is about having a sense of humor, you know what I mean? It's like seeing the beauty in the chaos, you know, and understanding the ways of the universe, the craziness of it all, you know, and having that outlook, that perspective that, you know, the divine has to have a sense of humor, you know, and sometimes we need to have a sense of humor to get through things. As chaotic as it is, as stressful as it is, it's to be immersed in the heaviness of it sometimes, you know what I mean, can be so overwhelming. And there are times where, yes, like you need to be serious, and it requires your attention and your devotion and your awareness, you know, and your focus and all that. But there are times where we can take a step back and be the observer and see the, you know, just the beauty of the divine playing out, you know, and how the energy just moves through everything and everyone, you know, and understanding, you know, and sometimes like you can look back on your life and on certain situations and just have a laugh and laugh at yourself, even for choices that you made, for the different personalities you had, through the learning, the painful growth periods, you know. And I even do that with my kids too, because, you know, when we're teenagers and we're trying to figure ourselves out, we're trying to remember who we are, and so we try on different hats and we try on different masks, and we're trying to figure out who are we, you know, and who our identity is, you know, without our parents or without social programming, you know, and what fits, you know, our style and our personality, and, you know, our moral compass and everything like that. What do we want to do with our lives? Where's our creative energy and stuff like that? it's a process, you know, and there's some moments where you cringe and you go, oh my God, look at my hair. Oh my God, I cannot believe I dated that person. Or, you know, I cannot believe I thought that was the coolest thing. But, you know, like, you gotta love all aspects of yourself, you know, and all that you went through, because it's made you the person you are today. And it's given you so much wisdom and insight and an appreciation for all that you've learned and all that you went through, you know. And if you don't have that, it's time to definitely go within and reflect and connect to those parts of yourself, you know, and just appreciate them and love them and support them. Because there may have been moments where there was doubt, or, you know, there was insecurity, and you know, maybe you wish you had somebody to just give you that confidence, or that comfort to say it's okay, you know what I mean, express yourself, be yourself, and just go for it, you know. And everything changes in time, and what once fit us, sometimes it no longer suits us as we grow and expand, you know, and some of our beliefs change, our stories change. We're constantly growing and evolving and expanding. And while some of us aren't, some of us may be stuck and trapped because we're just stuck in a loop, and we don't understand how to get out because we don't have the tools. And some of us aren't. Some of us are able to see and reflect and observe the patterns and observe the energy moving through this dimension, you know. And just it's easier to become, I mean, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice and patience and healing and growth and awareness to become the observer, you know. And that's all about the comic. It's having that sense of humor and observing that, you know, nobody's immune to hardship, and nobody's immune to struggle and pain and heartache. Everybody deals with it and goes through it, and it looks different to everybody, and there's different levels of it. And, you know, some people's, you know, trash is other people's treasure, and, you know, all those good things in life. We have the prayer, yes, that connection. This can also be a form of gratitude. You know, a lot of people, prayer is us connecting and speaking to God and you know, the universe, the creator, etc. It's having, developing that connection, having that communication. But the thing about communication, it requires us to listen, and not just to speak to God, but to listen to God. And listening is meditation. Meditation is us calming the mind and stilling the mind, you know, so that we can be more present, more grounded, more aware, more connected to hearing, to sensing, to feeling, you know, the Creator move through us, speaking to us, guiding us every single day. And it requires us to be still and not to speak so much. You know, it's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And prayer is also us being grateful, being in gratitude for all that we are given, for all that we've been through, for all the love that surrounds us every day, whether we're aware of it, for all the abundance that surrounds us every day, whether we're aware of it. You know, we are always provided for. And sometimes we don't acknowledge it because we're not present enough to see it. And this will help you to open that heart chakra of yours to be in more of a place of gratitude and appreciation for all that you have, all that you've been through, all that you've overcome, and to acknowledge it, and to see the higher purpose, to see the divine moving through everything. Okay, what else do we have? We have the North Node, the future. So this is like your destiny. Your North Node is like what you're meant to achieve in this lifetime, in this incarnation. So check out your North Node, whatever sign that is in, that has to do with like your purpose, your mission, your calling, what you're meant to focus on, what you're meant to achieve, you know, your destiny, your future, where you're going, where you're evolving, what you're evolving into from these experiences. It's an accumulation of all of that wisdom and knowledge. And we have card number 37, 34, which is a 7. You know, you're having a deeper spiritual connection, you know, spiritual insight, intuition. Yeah, and look at that, this direct connection to your higher self through, and we have all of these phases, you know, all those cycles, again, connection to your many incarnations. And I feel like you're definitely a starseed, and you've come to earth to share this wisdom. And the peacock says, yes, shine your light. Let's do the other one. We have relationship with the 7th house. Okay. Relationship. I love that. Yes, coming into relationship with your higher self here. Creating that connection. And it's within the heart chakra. Like I said, when you go within, you connect to the higher realms. You connect to the higher frequencies, the higher dimensions. They all exist within our heart chakra. This is our center, where our ancestors and our spirit guides, they all meet us in our heart. And I feel like you're establishing that connection to those dimensions. 45:9. Yeah, spiritual wisdom, understanding your purpose. This is also the end of a cycle. Yeah, you've come here to bring this completion, to end this karmic pattern, this karmic loop from repeating. Oh, let's do some tarot before I get to these. All right, messages from the inner realms. Pile number 3, please. I love that you have the smoky quartz. Grounding in that higher wisdom, grounding in that spiritual sight, those higher perspectives, the hawk eye, you know, they're able to see things with precision. You're able to see through the illusion and see the truth. You see how the divine moves, even through the darkness. And that it's only love. Everything is all love. And I feel like you're here to definitely to bring that unity consciousness here onto the planet, that Christ consciousness, where there isn't, you know, this contrast between good and evil. It's all love. It's all the divine. The divine is the ultimate creator of everything. It creates all, even the bad, the ugly. It is all there to teach us through the contrast of what love really is. And ultimately, it is all love. All the divine. The creator creates all and is all. We have the Emperor, nice, leadership, structure, empowerment. Yeah, see, he's holding the world in the palm of his hand. Oh, I'm so sorry for the dogs barking in the background. My dog's he's very old. And every little sound, it just scares him. And he's just like, I've got to protect. So we have number 4, stability, structure, grounding that higher vibrational energy here. We have the Ace of Cups. Ooh, a new emotional beginning for you. Yeah, healing of the inner child. Ooh, yes, that connection to your inner child ultimately is your higher self, you know? Empowering your inner child. Following your intuition. connecting, establishing that connection to the inner child. Once you heal the heart and you work on the heart chakra, and the watermelon tourmaline helps, those energies to come to the surface that need to be cleansed and purged, old emotions, things from the past that you experienced that were painful, that were hard, that made you, sad or lonely, or whatever the case may be for you. Each one's different. You establish that stronger connection with your inner child. And this is divine you, the pure light that exists within us all. When we're all born and incarnated here on the earth plane, we all, start out as these divine, pure babies, and we're just all loving, we're all caring, we believe in magic, and we love everyone. We easily forgive. We're very open. We connect easily, and we trust ourselves. We don't doubt ourselves. And when you finally heal, all of the pain that has been within, and you purge it all out, and you establish that connection to your higher self, to your inner child, there is so much joy that radiates from that little being within you, because they feel supported, they feel loved, they feel acknowledged. And there's this restoration of the divine within you. You begin to see the divine in everything and everyone, because you've established that connection within your own being. You realize that you are, essentially you're a part of God, that you are God, that we all are God. And you can see that divine being reflected in the eyes of everyone you meet, and everyone else's eyes, because we're all one. Even though they're not acting from that place, they're still, God in physical form. Okay, I had to pause your video real quick, you guys. The goats were coming through, and I knew they were going to be loud, and it's already loud with the dog and the peacock. Okay. Whew. Oh my goodness, look, you got the wheel. Yes, the end, the completion of a cycle. Woo. Oh, my heart. We have luck, progress, and change. Look at all these little children. Yes, you've been healing the generations before you, pile number 3. Look at all these little faces. Oh, my heart. Look at all these little innocent children. Like I was saying, we all are born these innocent little beings. And in this realm where duality exists currently, it has been dark. We all experience pain. We're not used to that. We're all, divine, coming into this realm, and where we've only known truth and love and light, and then to experience pain and darkness and murder and rape and all these heavy energies that are foreign to us. It makes us, it scares the crap out of us, and it dims our light, and it's painful, and we don't understand, and so we end up feeling lost. We feel broken. We hide. We betray our own selves. We search for comfort outside of ourselves. We're constantly looking for outside approval, or we're constantly seeking answers, and it can be very, very hard until we begin the spiritual journey and begin the ascension quest, to heal, to evolve, to grow, and to remember who we are and where we come from and why we're here. And it is a journey, isn't it? And it can take many lifetimes to finally purge all that darkness out that we've accumulated through the many years. And it's like, it's not just something that you've done. Even though in past lives we have chosen to be the bad guys and play a role of darkness, so that we understand, this is a plane, we're here to experience the darkness so that we can understand it. And we choose to play roles each time we incarnate, and we end up creating karma with different individuals. And as we ascend on the path and we incarnate into more lighter aspects of the soul, we want to clear that karma out. So we incarnate with individuals and we sign contracts with them to resolve the karma between us. And so sometimes it can take lifetimes for us to finally clear those contracts and to clear them out so that we no longer have that karma. Because as we ascend back into the light, and each time we transition into into the spiritual realm, we can look back over our journey here on earth, and if we have caused pain to another individual, we can't in our hearts be settled with that. We feel like we have to come make amends again. And unfortunately, when we incarnate each time, we lose our memory. We forget why we're here, and we forget the purpose. And some of us have like empathy and compassion, and we understand, that we don't want to inflict pain on others because we've incarnated many times. And so there's this inner knowing already there. Even if we don't really know truly, we still have this intuition that's guiding us. And our hearts are very open and expanded and aware because we've been working many lifetimes to heal that inner child. And so as we get closer to the end of our carnation cycle, we have these sensations, these heart energies that tell us, like, don't do that. And you know what that would feel like because you yourself have experienced it, whether this time or not, this lifetime or not. In the past, that's your heart's wisdom, telling you don't do that, that's painful. How would you like somebody to do that to you? You can empathize with that. So you make those conscious choices. And I feel like you have definitely, pile number 3, you are awakening to your divine self. So definitely give yourself a big pat on the back because you deserve it. And you should be so proud of yourself. Oh, wow, you have the 10 of the air. Yeah, it's been a long journey. You're at the end of this cycle. And look, you are freeing yourself. You're karmically freeing yourself. You've freed yourself from all these karmic wounds. The time has run out. This is it. I feel like this is your last incarnation here on earth. If you so choose to, you've cleared all of your karmic debt. And that's been some journey, pile number 3. And definitely you need to give yourself the biggest hug because you've healed many generations that have come before you, and you are healing the generations that are coming after you. So big hugs, big loves. And we have the Ace of Fire. Look at that. Opportunity, creativity, and action. And again, we have this little child. So heart activation, there's going to be something. For me, I feel like this is you living from your heart, living out your soul purpose, the divine plan. There's something new that's awakening within you. I feel like you're about to receive a heart activation. You're going to be receiving guidance. This could be your service, like your dharma, what you're here to now do. Now that you have healed your heart, you've healed the inner child and established that connection to your higher self. Now you're about to activate your dharma, your mission, what you're now here to do. Now that you've done the work, you've graduated the classes, the university, now what do you do with your time here on earth? Now what do you do? And now it's time for you to live from your heart, to do whatever it is that you're passionate about, to be in that energy, to allow your inner child to express itself freely, whatever feels good, to do it, because that high vibration is going to help heal the planet and help heal the collective that's here on the planet. We have divine love. Nice. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Beautiful. Yes, you've established this beautiful connection with your higher self. Look at all these butterflies, this transformation, this freedom that you've now attained. Yeah, I feel like you have just pretty much surrendered and allowing yourself to be guided by spirit. And there's this complete trust, this, yeah, look at the wings, the ascension wings here. We have clearing. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. Ooh, beautiful. Yes. You have that complete trust. And look, that's Ganesh. Remover of obstacles. You've learned to allow the divine to move through you, to be guided by the divine. It's that complete leap of faith and trust and surrender, knowing that you are guided, that everything happens for a purpose, for a reason, and that you will be, guided and directed to, fulfilling this dharma and allowing your heart to be your guide, allowing your higher self to be your guide. I love this. We have Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Okay, so there's something maybe that you're meant to communicate, and let go of any fears that you may have about communicating this truth. What else do we have? We have Saint Germain with karma releasing. Wow. Okay. So funny. Yeah, you have this strong connection to Source Creator, and we have move beyond Dharma and create your own path. Make room for good energy. Saint Germain, he is the keeper of the violet flame. He helps us to transmute, old energies, old versions of self, so that we can embody a higher, lighter version of who we truly are. And he helps us ascend on the path. It burns up the old energies, the old programs, the old illusions, so that we can embody more light. And there's something that you're meant to share. And we have these, I want to say it's peace lilies. I'm not sure what type of flower it is, but it is white, the divine. You have a strong connection to the divine. And with Joan of Arc, she was led by the divine to victory, and they killed her for it because, one, she was a woman, and two, they were just using her to get what they wanted, So, but this has really nothing to do with you, but you are meant to use your voice to be a channel for spirit, to be a channel for God, for the higher realms, for, Source Creator. And allowing that energy to move through you. Allow your passions to flow, okay? All right, pile number 3. I'm going to get some final messages from the inner realms for you. And then we're going to close this reading. I'm sure you're tired of hearing my dog bark in the background. All right, so first message is application. Today, I apply all that I have learned during my spiritual quest. I practice love in my daily life. I allow my inner light to lift my thoughts. As I do so, the laws of universal love take root in my life. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Grounding that spiritual energy into the physical plane, serving as a bridge and a channel from the spiritual realms, and grounding them here on the planet Earth with that smoky quartz. And we have love appears. I renounce my pain and release my resistance. Today I choose to reside in the light of my being. I rise up boldly and ask for the understanding that will free me from my duality. My prayers are heard, and God sends angelic help so that love and peace find their way to me. When I open my eyes, love appears. Ooh, and we have the peace dove coming through here as well. Yeah, look at this light that's coming into her. So we have this light that's going out, light being put out into the world, and also the receiving of light coming in. So there's this good balance of giving and receiving, that bridge, that channel, like I was saying, this strong connection to the higher realms and grounding that higher realm, the higher realms here into the physical realm, being that spiritual presence here on the planet Earth. And that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort for your higher self, for your inner child, your divine self to feel safe in this body. You know, when we're, like I was saying, when we are children, when we're young, we're innocent, and we're like, whoa, where am I? I don't understand how people can be this way, and how can somebody treat somebody this way, and so we don't feel safe. And so our higher self can't fully come into this physical body because it doesn't feel safe here. It can't hold the light. There's so much pain, you know, and the higher self's, the light can't penetrate the darkness until we make room for it. And the only way we can make room for it is to put our love and our energy on it, and to heal it and transmute it. And so you have done that, and you're here to just continue shining that light and to live from your heart space, pile number 3. And you need to celebrate, you need to honor, you know, your path and all that you've been through and all that you've overcome, and be so proud of yourself. Thank you all so much for being here on my channel. It's truly an honor to have you here on the path with me. I'm going to close your reading now, pile number 3. Thank you all so much for being here and being in the temple with me today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you all in the comments and meet you all. Or just let me know that pile number 3 resonated with you. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer them. My email is listed in the description box below. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day.